Welcome to EIPIP Meeting 72. I have shared agenda in chat. So it is an extension from the last meeting. We could not have the last meeting because that was holiday season. So most of the items are carried over from the last meeting agenda. We can probably start with the items listed here. The first one is to discuss open issues and PR. And also the other topics. The number one topic is what are the prerequisites for someone to be considered a viable reviewer? Recently, we heard about the concept of peer reviewing. So I'm assuming that this is more related to that. I am not sure, was that a Victor who made this question, or we received this somewhere on the Discord chat?
Which one?
The documentation for peer review process.
I think that comes from Sam?
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, Sam is not here today. I am not sure if anyone else has any information about the peer review process, or if there is any documentation that could be shared with community. So yeah, they be able to contribute. Okay, maybe we can skip it for now, and we'll try to add it next time when Sam is around. The next one is also which was proposed by Sam, and the question is here: should we make the markdown linter required? He has added 2 open pull requests. I'm going to share the link here. I wonder if anyone has any thoughts and suggestions in merging this one.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I also think that that is okay. I reviewed the linter rules and seems reasonable.
Sounds good. There seems to be another pull request, not necessarily related with this, but the number is 5270. Any thoughts about that?
Same thoughts as I've had.
Should we wait for Sam and Sam to continue? I think Sam needs to be providing his idea, I guess.
Okay, that sounds fair. So because he isn't available today, we can have it back on the next meeting unless we get it resolved on the pull request itself. So there are a few items which are carried over from the last meeting discussion. I'm going to skip 2565. The pull request number is 5240 because it seems to be changed to draft. So there were other items which were for existing EIPs, and there were changes. I think people were into like we should not make more changes to EIPs which have been widely adopted. There is this pull request 6038. I wonder if there is any change in thoughts and opinion on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I still really don't think we need to be changing EIPs, especially ones as prominent as the ERC-20.
Sounds good. I'm not sure, do we want to have this pull request closed with adding these comments over there?
Fine with it. I'm away from my computer for another 15 minutes or so, so I can't
Okay.
do it right at this moment.
Not a problem. 03. Okay, and the last one in this section is EIP 3475, some changes. I think that is coming directly from the author, and we probably discussed it in the EIP editing office hour. Yeah, hopefully there would be making a few more changes to it. Okay, there is one other pull request, 6269. So we were discussing this one in the last EAP editing hour, and Sam wanted it to be discussed here in this call to maybe collect some thoughts from other participants. Yeah, what do we think about this particular pull request? I'm sharing the link here. It is about full EVM equivalence.
Does Sam mention a specific question? I guess EIPIP meeting was about process. Is he trying to solicit feedback for how to review individual EIPs?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of like a no-op EIP, like he can write whatever he wants about an Ethereum EVM equivalence, but there's nothing to enforce it. And it does seem like I saw that on the East Magicians, it seemed like some roll teams were engaging with the post, and so maybe if it comes out and it's something that people can rally behind, that's a good thing. But it's yeah, it doesn't have a lot of teeth on it.
So I think the question here was like, should it be an independent EIP in the first place? Like if people rally for it, then updates can be done on EIP 1 instead of having it as a proposal separately.
What do you mean EIP 1?
I have added the comment link here in the chat. So Sam mentioned that if the author would prefer, they can have a pull request to update EIP 1 with the sources. And yeah, I'm not sure if we should have it.
Oh, you're
as an
saying with the
EIP.
execution specs. What sources? I'm trying to read. Let's see. I mean, Sam is saying he wants the guy to add execution spec to EIP 1, which is what 5757 says.
Yeah, right.
Which, like, obviously I'm okay with. Like, I think that execution spec is our canonical definition of the spec at this point. But yeah, I think this should just be an informational EAP.
Yeah, I mean, the effort is towards making it as an informational EIP. Okay, maybe we can have it in another meeting when Sam is around and see if author has made any progress in this particular pull request.
Sounds good.
Okay, before moving ahead, I see some comments by Victor. Victor, if you would like to have those thoughts discussed here, I know it is from 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately we could not get chance to discuss it earlier.
Oh, no problem. I think my comments was regarding Sam's proposal about peer reviews. I just commented there, and then if he's here to discuss, then that would be great. Otherwise, I'd love to hear anyone else thoughts or postpone this to when we have more editors in the room to discuss the peer review process. But thank you.
Very well. One last pull request that Sam shared to be discussed in this meeting is 6306. It is to update EIP1 for permitted links. If anyone can maybe take a look.
Yeah, I don't think we should add the yellow paper, but I think I'm okay with adding the execution specs.
No objections.
Okay. All right, I'll make a note of that. Okay, that concludes all the pull requests and issues. Those were listed here for today's discussion. I see Jose on the call today. I have not added any specific agenda item to be discussed on EIP board. Wonder, Jose, if you have anything in particular to share or update.
Hello. No, I just was trying to catch on with you guys. Okay.
Sounds good. All right, so next one is EIPS Insight. I can see a few new EIPs getting on added in the month of January. We have 3 core EIPs. One is 6188 non-SCAP. Next one is 6189 alias contract and 6190 functional self-destruct. All 3 are proposed by PandaPIP and now have been merged as draft. We have one standard track networking EIP, which is back from stagnant, resurrected from stagnant. The number is 1459 node discovery via DNS. 3 new ERCs are added to the repository: EIP 5805 voting with delegation, 5982 role-based access control, and 6147 that is guard of NFT, SBT, and extension to EIP 721. Other than that, we have 3 EIPs in review status and 2 in the last call. Last call proposals are EIP 2771 and the deadline is January 20th. Similarly, there is another proposal 4834 that is hierarchical domains and the deadline is January 20th. So people, if you are interested in adding any last minute feedback, comment for authors, please go ahead and make sure you have your comments added in discussion thread linked in the EIP. And we do have some other improvements on the README CI updates on both sides. That's on EIPS Insight. EIP editing office hour. We did have a meeting yesterday. We tried to cover almost all of the pull requests. Those were listed there. However, there are a few which still needs to be looked into this week. Hopefully that will be covered before the next meeting hour. The video and agenda for the next meeting is now available. There was this one discussion that came up in the Discord channel of Ethereum Cat Herders about the next meeting for EIPIP. People in earlier meeting also mentioned that because some of the editors do not get to join the during weekdays meeting, is it okay to plan one meeting or the other, like once in a while kind of meeting in the weekend? Yeah, if anyone has any strong opinion of having it or not having it.
I'm pretty strongly against. I mean, if people need to have a meeting on the weekend, they can, but I will most likely not be able to attend for the foreseeable future.
I think we can have one off, and then I'm okay with both on weekend and weekdays. And also I'm in favor of supporting more diverse of time zones availability. Like I know people here seems to be all in the American time zone, but if we are want to welcome more participations and authorship, then in the future, when more people join, we can kind of start considering one-off more other shifts. But I totally understand some people want to make sure that they have time off. So meetup will work, or some type of casual meeting can work. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we do not have rest of the editors here, but what I have gathered is like a few people are interested definitely in having meetings on weekend. But talking about me, I would rather have it on weekdays, considering it to be, a week off, the time off. But we can definitely make arrangements, like meeting can be recorded and it can be uploaded later on. However, I'm in favor of having fixed time for any particular meeting, so we can make community be aware of like what is the time. Earlier we used to have EIPIP meeting alternate Wednesday at 1500 UTC. If we would like to continue doing that, which I think would be a good idea, because now it's almost said that we do have a client devs meeting on Thursdays and this process improvement meeting on Wednesdays, so and so forth. We can continue having that, and we can have a off the schedule meeting if needed. But yeah, that's totally on the participants who would like to do it. And even in that case, it would be a good idea to have fixed time. We recently changed the time from 1500 to 1600 because it was having a conflict with another implementers meeting, the UF implementers meeting. And yeah, whatever we decide, either 1600 or 1400, just to avoid the conflict of these two meetings, that should be consistent. As far as the time zones considerations are there, if we do have participants like they are from Asian region and may not be able to join on the later time of the day, we could prefer 1400, because that seems to be the most working time for the participants across the world. So for now, because we do not have more participants, my thought is like, let's have the meeting as scheduled for January 25th, instead of having it earlier on January 21st. And in the next meeting, if we see that people are looking for having it on a weekend, we can probably consider that. Does that sound reasonable to everyone, at least who are present here today?
Sure.
All right, all good.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam and Victor. Okay, yeah, and that is all which are covered here. I'm trying to quickly take a look on the last meeting notes. Okay, a few action items, those are listed here from the last meeting notes. It's like PR 6104, Sam will merge it. 6038 general consensus and PR should not be merged. Okay. On strawman proposal, continue collecting feedback. I think that is in progress. Anything in specific you would like to add, Victor, for the strawman's proposal here?
Oh, let me check. Did you put in the link?
No, I'm just trying to read it from the action item from the last meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice if you can also post the link. I can give a brief introduction. So basically the idea is that some questions, there were feedback on the sometimes like EIP moves too fast, or sometimes EIP moves too slow. So voices are how can we make it more consistent, or set a right expectation on how to move things. Therefore, I start put on a draft for what it could be. For example, we can set some requirements for waiting to get feedback, or we can require some implementation for something to be considered final. So these are the, is that what you're talking about, Pooja?
Yeah, that's right. Like this was the example which was shared here in the discussion. Previously, it was related to EIP 6049. But yes, I was mentioning about the proposal that you have already put on the Fellowship of Ethereum Magician for discussion.
Yeah, I just I want to put out there and then hear what other folks think.
All right. Yeah, that is not here listed for the discussion. Probably the suggestion was to continue collecting more feedbacks, and if there are any strong consensus around any of the processes that we would consider having it documented, then we can bring it back into the discussion. Sounds good.
That's good.
Right. I think that concludes for the meeting today. It's short meeting, but I hope that we add more discussion item and the items which we could not finish making decisions in lack of less editors. Probably we'll do it in the next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Hope to see you in 2 weeks. We are keeping the regular cadence of the meeting for now. Like the next meeting will be on 25th of January at 1600 UTC instead of 1500.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. all.